and all this stuff that I just didn't know. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to come on here and share my story and for you guys to know a little bit about me. So before I get started, I just wanted to say my friends, they always told me, like, you don't have to explain yourself, like, it doesn't, like, don't let them, just because they don't know what's going on, just, you know, don't make yourself think that you have to explain yourself to somebody when they don't really care. So I'm just going to get that out of the way because I wanted to come on here and like share a little bit about me. That way you guys can know more about me and you know, get to know me, and I just really would love to share my story with you guys. So there it is. So when I was about 2-3 years old, when I was a child, I was very chubby. I had like my chubby cheeks, I was very overweight and all this stuff. So basically, when I was 2 to 3 years old, I was a toddler, so I was very small and I don't really remember this stuff, but my mom always told me like this is why, and told me this because of what happened, which I'll get to in a moment. So I got these two, sounds like, you know, funny, but I got these 2 balls of grease, and in Spanish, because I was over there at the time, I was in Mexico, so they called them bolas de grasa. So basically I got 2 of them, and I got one on the side of my forehead and then one on my neck. The one on my neck looked like, when I would turn to the side, or when you would see me from my side profile, it would look like how males have their apple. Is it called like an Adam apple? No, I don't know what it's called. I think it's like an apple, something like that. But that's how it would look for me. And the one on my forehead, it just looked like I just had a big bump, or if I had like a chipotle or something like that. So yeah. And when the doctor was taking this one out from my forehead, everything went super great. The only, you know, stuff that happened was that I got like scars. I just got scars, and right here on this one, it shows like a dent. So I have a dent in my forehead because of the surgery, and it doesn't really, I don't really mind, but I'm just getting insecure about it. So I have a lot of baby hairs like naturally, so they just covered it right up. So yeah. And for my throat, that one was a game changer. When the doctor was taking this one out, he didn't really take it out properly, so he didn't take it out good how he's supposed to. So he kind of messed up with my thyroid, and ever since that day I started to get thyroid. So thyroid, there's 2 different types. There's one that makes you skinny, and then one that makes you chubby and fat. And I got the one that makes you skinny, which means I was skinny. That's why I'm skinny. And it really changed my life because like when I was recovering from my surgery, since I was already very chubby and I was very like you know, I had my, you know, my cachetes, I like they went down, like they disappeared, and I was just really skinny. And it changed my life completely, and I've been on medication ever since that day. So every day I have to take pills for it for my entire life. And to this day, I still take medications, and which sucks, but it's just something that happened, and now I have to live with it my entire life. When I came here and I had my papers and stuff, I came here and I went to school. School was very, very, very hard and very, very emotional. Just because it was, it was new. I was new to the area, and it was something life-changing. When I started going to school, then I was bullied nonstop. Every single day of school, I was bullied from all the names that they decided to call me. They called me stick. They called me, you're so skinny, like, you're like, you, all this stuff. They basically, the most name that I was called in my elementary years was like skinny and stick. Like, that was my name. They're like, oh, there goes like the stick and all this stuff. And it really, like, since I was still small, and it just really, really hurt me. And so I would come home crying to my mom, saying I didn't want to go back, saying like, I don't want to go back, Mom. Like, I cried every single day, and the bullying would never stop, even though we have gone to my mom went to the principal multiple times, and they didn't do anything. They said they would, but they didn't. So it just really sucked. And for one school year, for some of the school years, I wouldn't even go more than half of the school year, just because I just didn't want to be there. I didn't want to go. And even though I had so much fun going, because like, when you're in kindergarten, like, you do all this fun stuff, and I just didn't want to go because of people bullying me. We have had like the police come to our house and like say like, what's wrong, why is she not showing up, this and that. And like, my mom has like explained to them like what was the deal, and they're like, oh, just make sure like she goes back to school. And like, I had to go back to school either way, and I was excited, but yet still like scared. I was terrified of going back and them calling me names again. And I know bullying happens to everybody, but when it happens like from a young age, it just really sucks, and it's just something you don't really want to start off your life with. When I was in 6th grade, my life started to change, which means I met a friend, which me and her didn't really get along at first, at all. Like, we didn't get along and all this stuff. But then somehow we started becoming really close, and we started becoming best friends. And she like protected me and like told me like, you have to stick up for yourself. You can't let them go on top of you and let them tell you stuff, because if you do, that's gonna let them tell you more things. So she was something, I don't know what God did, but for her to come to my life and change my life completely. I can't appreciate, and I have so much like love for her, because she genuinely changed my life. And that's something that like that I can't even express, or like, I just feel so happy that I met her and that she changed my life. And it's just, I'm really thankful for her because she changed my life. So we started being best friends, and during my junior high, middle school, me and her were really close, and then we expanded our group friendship group, or our friend group. We expanded it, and then although we like had our moments of arguing with each other in the group, but it was still so much fun. And in middle school, a lot of more people started like to tell me stuff and tell me stuff. They're like, oh, you're flat chested, you don't have an ass, like you're not thick, like all this stuff that I just didn't know. And I just like I would feel sad and stuff like that, but she would stick up for me, and she would like, you know, she would be like tell them a bunch of times. And then until like one moment I had enough of them telling me, so I literally went off on this person that I think it was a guy. Mostly guys would bully me though, and I had a bunch of arguments with girls, but I don't know. But I went off, like I popped off on this guy, and I told him straight out, and like he was quiet, and you know, my friend, she was like my best friend, she was quiet too, like she was shocked. And then my guy best friend at the time, we're still friends to this day, but he just moved states, so yeah. But he was like he was like also shocked. And then I finished like popping off on the guy, and my guy best friend told my best friend, he was like, damn, like you taught her good, this and that, like I did not expect that, this and that. And I just started laughing, and we all just started laughing, and my best friend was like, yep, and all this stuff. Like it was so funny, but it was still like, it felt good to pop off on somebody, knowing now like they know, you know, that I'm not gonna let myself anymore. So it was just fun. It was a really fun like moment for me. So that's something that happened during junior high. And then the bullying stopped. Like there would be some kids still telling me stuff, and I would just like, you know, look at them and be like, or like give them that look, and like, you know, that's when they like would know, like, don't mess around with my so yeah. And then coming into my freshman year of high school, me and my friend, you know, my best friend, we would still hang out together, but we were having problems, and a lot of problems that made me lose her. It was mostly my fault, and just can never forgive myself for what I did. But we're still friends now. But it just really sucks, you know. I still go back to the memories, and I save like all my letters that I get, so I still have her letter that she gave me for Valentine's Day, because we were single. And like me and her, like, you know, we were like, oh, you're my Valentine this year. So I still have her card and stuff, and I go back to read it, and it just makes me like it just makes me, you know, kind of emotional because of what happened. But we stopped being best friends, and my freshman year, I lost a lot of friends and gained more friends. But it just, you know, really sucked. It really sucked losing her, and losing a best friend is more hurtful than losing a boyfriend. That's just my personal my personal thing, but I just thought, like, when I lost my best friend, I felt so freaking hurt, dude. Like, I felt so hurt, and I couldn't stop crying. And my aunt, like, she was like telling me, she's like, what's wrong, this and that. Like, I didn't want to tell them because I would be like, what if we get, like, you know, being back to being friends, and like, you know, I tell them and be like, no. So we just stayed being friends, and yes, so I really appreciated her, and I still do, for everything that, you know, our memories and stuff like that. And yeah, so my freshman year, this one time I during my freshman, we had like tutorial, or like this class that we would have to go because we needed help, and I still needed help, so I had to go. And this kid, I've been knowing this kid since I was in elementary. Like, I've been knowing him for a really long time. So we had this like assignment type of activity, and it was like we had to get this piece of paper and like write your name on it, and then they would collect the papers, and then they would pass it out again, and you would have to write something nice about them. Well, what he wrote was not very nice. When I got my paper back, I was happy, and I was like excited to see what somebody would say about me these days. I didn't expect something to, you know, from a guy, from like, because in that class we didn't have any cute guys, so I was like, ooh, no. So I was like, I didn't expect anything, but I expected something. I was like, I thought it was gonna be my friend or something, but it was him. And I read it, and I don't remember what the top thing, and there was like something on the top, and it said like, you look like a stick, and then it was like covered in like a marker, like a black marker, trying to like cover it up, and on the bottom it said something. I don't remember what the bottom was, but it was like supposedly nice. It was better than what he said on the top. But I looked over and I noticed that he was staring and he was laughing. So I was like, oh, it was him. And so I got so mad, and I got so, like, at that moment, because it's been a while since I got, like, you know, something said to me like that. So I froze. I didn't know what to do. So and I noticed that like one of the student aides that, like, you know, would be there and, you know, were part of giving us the activity, she was also laughing and thought that it was funny. And then I was like, wow, like they really think this is something you can say, even though they're trying to say like, spread positivity, don't be bully, this and that, school is a bully free zone, something like that. And yet she's like part of the school, and she's over here laughing at something the kid did just because they're close or like they're friends. Like, that's something you shouldn't be laughing at, especially if you're with the school, you know. The kid next to me took the paper, because I was still I froze, and he took the paper out of my hands and he started laughing as well. He started laughing, and at that moment I realized, like, I'm not doing this anymore. So I just put my head down and I just felt tears and tears and tears coming out of my face. And and they would ask like, are you okay, this and that, and they would be like, it's okay, like don't listen to him, this and that, and all this stuff. I felt so sad. Like I was like I really want to fight this kid. Like, I don't care if he's a guy and if he hits me back, because you know guys can't hit back women, like girls. But I wanted to fight this kid so bad, and I wanted to like go off on him so bad. But I was just crying, and my friend was telling him stuff and would be like, you think it's really funny, right? Like, it's nothing of this is funny. He was like, relax, like it's not that big of a deal, she's just being dramatic. How is that being, are you serious? Are you serious? I have so many nicknames for him, but yet I didn't say any of them. And then the student aide, she was like, oh, like this is not a joke, like she's actually, like, you know, she feels bad, like she's actually crying. And she tapped me on my shoulder, and this is not my shoulder, on my arm, and she was like, hey, are you okay? And I didn't respond, and she's like, are you okay? And I was like, I didn't respond again. And she's like, could you meet me outside for me, please? And I was like, this better be good. He better have a good apology or something, because if not, I'm going off on his ass. And so I did. I went outside, and then he also went outside, and it was just me, him, and the student aide. And she's like, hey, like, do you, like, I didn't think that it was gonna upset you this bad. I'm really sorry, it was my fault. I should have never this and that, blah blah. She was giving herself, she was giving me an apology when it was his fault, because he's the one who wrote it. And yet, but also, she also tried to cover it up with the marker, which you can still see because it was a pencil. So it's like, it was shiny. Plus, I also was like, what the hell is like a black like thing? So I tried to read it, and that's how I read it. And then I was waiting for him to talk, and then I lost it. I lost it. And I went off on him. I was like, do you not really understand? I've known you my entire life, and I know you told this to me many times before, but the matter of fact that you think that it's funny and that it's something not a big of a deal. You don't know what I've been through, and you don't know what goes on in my life. And I was like, just like I don't know what goes on in your life, or how you were raised, or what happens in your life, you don't know either. I was like, you don't know if I have something, like, you don't know. So why do you think it's a joke or not a big of a deal? Like, you need to take in your mind to think about things before saying something like this to somebody. And I went off, like, that's not even the full part, but I went off on him, and he was just like he was just looking down, and he was like playing with his fingers and stuff. And then I stopped, because I thought, I was like, you might not, like, chill, let him speak, let him talk. And so I did. I let him talk, and the teacher saw me like furious, like mad, and waiting for him, like, you know, I was like this, and I was like waiting for him to like answer me. And so the student aide was like, okay, it's your turn, like, you know, time for you to speak and apologize. And he was like, well, I'm just sorry because I didn't really know about that. Like, are you serious? Exactly, you don't know, so why are you gonna say something like that? And I told him that. And this was like, it was time for break. So my friends were walking towards me and were waiting for me and saw me crying, saw me that I was crying. So and he was just like telling me stuff and like that, and he's like I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry, but like I didn't really mean it, this and that. And I told him, I don't accept your apology, and don't expect me to ever accept it just because of what you said. But you know, like, I don't accept it. You go on with your life and you never tell me anything. That's how it is. And that's how I told him. And I just turned around and I went and I left, and I left him silent. So yeah, that's what happened with this one kid in my freshman time. He has never told me anything ever since, and he just looks at me and he just tries to smile at me, which is weird because first of all, his smile is not it. It's not it. So that's what happened like one time in my freshman year. I have so many crazy stories in freshman year that happened. But yeah, and now that I'm in my sophomore year, since we're online because of COVID, I haven't really gotten somebody to tell me something like that ever again. Or, you know, they do, but it doesn't really get to me as much. And this year I just lost a lot of more friends, and I just noticed like I got these friends that stuck with me my entire years. So for the friends, like my friends that have stuck with me for the past 16 years of my life, ever since like elementary to this day, if you have still stuck up with me, I can't like appreciate, like I just love you. I just love them so much, and they're probably watching this video, so they know who they are. So that's a little bit about my story, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I really enjoyed sharing this with you guys. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to always subscribe, like, comment, and make sure to check out my socials, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.